I am your host with the locks that rocks, Adam Richmond, and this is the official podcast of Born and Raised Country Music Festival, Surviving Born and Raised. And I am joined with an individual who just played stage a couple of hours ago in the blistering heat of Oklahoma. What is up, Reid Haughton?
What's going on? I'm so happy to be here.
Man, I'm glad to have you here. Can you tell me a little bit about playing Born and Raised?
Man, we just had the time of our life out there on the Horizon stage. It was everything we could have asked for and more. The fans rocked. They were all into it and showed a lot of kindness to us being that early in the day. There was a lot of people out there, so we're super thankful and blessed to be here.
How long have you been on tour this time around?
On tour?
Yeah.
Well, this was just a one-off show for us, so we just came out here for this one show. But we've previously been on tour this year with Whiskey Myers for about 17 shows, so we had just had a little bit of off time before this show.
Can you tell me a little about doing a one-off show versus about playing a show when you're on tour and you've got the routine, the groove? Yeah,
I think it's a lot harder to play a one-off show, you know, because even if you're not rusty, you kind of feel a little rusty. There's definitely something to be said about getting in a groove when you're like, you know, on day number 5 of the run and you don't got to think about anything you're doing, you know. But it's just as fun. I mean, I'm always just trying to play music anywhere and everywhere. So, however it is, one off or not, we're pumped to do it. But yeah, it is different. You're shaking off some rust for sure.
You got any favorite places you've played since the last?
Man, on the Whiskey Myers tour, you know, every show was crazy, but the one that sticks out to me a lot is Minneapolis, Minnesota. We played this place called the Armory that was like just such a wild venue, and it was a crazy amount of people for us to be playing to. Probably, you know, the earliest big turnout on that run in our minds, but it was incredible.
Can you tell me a little bit about playing open air festivals such as Born and Raised versus the more intimate closed venues such as bars and ballrooms and such?
Yeah, it's all a different vibe, and it's all a beautiful thing, you know, but personally, I kind of enjoy the outdoor stuff the most. It's just, I don't know, especially because we're playing in the day a lot of times right now anyways, so it's like just beautiful outside, feels good, as long as it's not too hot, you know, but it's just nice to be outside, you know, and take it all in and see everybody having a good time.
Does the heat ever play a factor for you?
Oh yeah, the heat plays a factor. I mean, not so much for like me, my body, but our instruments. You know, you're fighting getting them in tune. You know, we're not like on the level of having like guitar techs yet, so we're having to tune our own guitars. So it's you know, that'll get you. You'll be fighting it.
Now, you mentioned not having your your own roadies and crew and all of that stuff. Can you tell me what kind of complications that creates for you having to do your own setup as well as performing and everything and breaking back down and all of this other stuff?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've been blessed more this year ever before with like having hands, like, you know, on the whole Whiskey Myers tour, and then today, you know, we've been playing some really awesome spots where there's always hands to help you load and unload, so that's been nice. But, you know, we still don't have like personal techs and whatever. Not that like I'm saying we need that by any means.
But
at this level. But yeah, of course we would take it. It's just one more thing you have to do, and you know it's part of your job. It's part of why you're getting paid, and you know, we've always been doing it, so we don't know any different. So we might as well just keep doing it. We'll just be glad when that day comes when we don't have to, I guess.
For you, was there a moment that made you decide, you know what, this is what I want to do with my life?
I think this has been what I want to do with my whole life, like since the earliest memories I have. It's more just like having the guts to say that out loud, and I think it helped that I was able to play a lot of shows like when I was younger, that I didn't really have to say it. The ball kind of just started rolling and gave me a little bit more of a leg to stand on, I reckon.
So you've been doing this for a while. Tell me a little bit about your musical journey thus far. Like, what do you feel like your last album was trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, the last record was just a combination of, you know, a bunch of sounds and vibes, for lack of a better word, that I was just, you know, experimenting with, I guess, you know, and seeing what people are going to latch onto more than others, or what I latch onto more than others, you know. It's with a debut record, it's not like you have a history of, you know, a bunch of things. You know, I have music out, but yeah, it was just getting more down to the wire of like where I see myself going, and I think like that's a good foot forward to start with.
What about the writing process for you? Are you more of a journal type of guy, or these are my observations, or is it just rhetorical stuff that I just need to put out in the world and say?
Well, personally, I mostly am co-writing in Nashville because that's another part of my job is like I have a publishing deal, so I write a lot for other people. But yeah, it's all mostly like from a co-write scenario. It's typically ideas that maybe I started and brought into a room or whatever. But yeah, just a lot of co-writing scenarios, and as far as like inspiration for the songs, I guess it's more just living. Like for lack of better words, it's just my life experiences and life experiences of other people. Just putting into words my own journey as a whole.
I've noticed covering Born and Raised for their, this is my 4th year covering it, versus Rocklahoma, and nothing to take away from rock artists, but country musicians, it's all about the story. Like, let me tell you about this story.
Right.
And do you have any that just the songs just write themselves?
Yeah, there's a ton of songs that get written really fast, but as far as like writing themselves, I guess. But to me, that's not like any indication of like what songs I like better or not. I think that's just like the nature of writing a song that like we don't have any control over. Like songs are given to us. Like you don't know how that idea came to you. I'm speaking for myself, Right. But it just kind of like comes into play. Like it's supernatural, so yeah, that's where I'm at on it.
So what's next for Reid?
Well, we just recorded a few more songs just really recently, within the last couple months, and so those will trickle out. However, I'm not really sure how we're going to release them, as far as like will it be a part of a EP or what, not sure in that manner, but we're going to put those songs out I guess starting in the top of the year, since the record just came out, and we're just going to keep it rolling. I'm just always writing songs and recording songs, so we're just trying to feed the world of streaming, I guess, in a world where everybody's listening so fast. It's kind of just keeping that ball rolling.
Do you find that to be a challenge to keep up with like streaming platform, and you got to put this out, you don't want to fade away?
Yeah, I think it's definitely challenging, but it's a double-edged sword because it's super challenging, but people are listening to music and hearing about music in ways they've never been able to before. Like I often think about like how hard it would be for like somebody like me to get to like play in this festival without like streaming, like or whatever, or the internet as a whole. It's like how would people find it? It takes a lot longer, I guess, is what I'm saying. So as much as it's like, it's a good thing in a way,
I'm the world's worst at keeping a secret. Like my poker face is terrible. Do you have anything that you're setting on, or like, man, gosh, I want to talk about it, but I can't? And I know I'm not saying you had talk about it here, but as an artist, anybody who's dabbling, they've always got something they're excited about.
Yeah, I just told you though, but like the songs we just recorded, like we, you and somebody else here, like the first people that I've told about that, because we just did it so recently. But I'm like super excited for those few songs. It's 4 songs, and then maybe one more acoustic is gonna pop up. But I'm just excited for people to hear those. I think it's like, doubling down on what we're already doing of like finding my sound.
I like it. Before I let you go, I always let each of my guests have the opportunity to directly acknowledge their fans, look into the audience, or look into the eyes of the folks that watch you play today, the folks who are now just enamored with Reid Haughton, and they've got to load them into their Spotify or other streaming services. You got a couple of words for your fans?
Yeah, I'll tell you what I told them on the stage, but it's just like, you truly don't understand how much it means to somebody like me. I can't speak for everybody, but like all I've ever wanted to do is play music for people who cared to listen to it. So it means the absolute world that anybody would sit and watch our set, much less, go crazy at the end of songs and be out there having a good time to it. So it just means the absolute world, and it's a blessing to play every time we get to play.
Reid, the campgrounds around here is something legendary. Now, are you one of the artists that, I'm being good, I'm being responsible professional, or oh man, screw that. I'm going to go tear her up. I'm going to see what's wild.
Oh yeah, we're staying around tonight, and we're not staying for no fun. We're definitely going to go see what's out there, and the people of Oklahoma are awesome, so I can't wait to see what's going down. I mean, we're mostly just going to watch the other people's sets because I'm really excited to see a lot of these artists, but I can't wait to meet some of the people of Oklahoma out there, maybe see a camper or two.
You got any favorite artists that you've interacted with here today, this weekend?
I mean, honestly, everyone on this whole bill, but I'm really excited to see Co Wetzel because we played a show with him, or actually I just did acoustic back in like 2018 maybe, and so it's just really wild to roll up today and see 4 18-wheelers and a bunch of buses and all that. Pumped for those guys, and I'm really excited to see their show.
Do you find it hard to resist, like the fangirl, like there's Hank, maintain?
I mean, maybe I used to, but these days we've had the opportunity to be on the road with so many people that I like truly love. That I don't really feel that way, but I will tell them, for better or for worse, like if I love what you do, when I meet you, I'm going to tell you, and if that's weird for you, like, sorry, but I got to tell you, especially if you've inspired me to do what I do, But yeah, I mean, this bill is listed with people that I would be pumped to hang out with or whatever,
I love it, man. Well, Reid, I know you got a lot of stuff going on today. Thank you so much for joining us and sitting down with us. Once again, for Reid Haughton, I'm Adam Richmond, your host with The Locks That Rocks, the official podcast of Rocklahoma and Born and Raised Music Festivals. And until next time, rock on.